Monday Night Raw and Sheamus have one thing in common. They used to produce banger after banger after banger. Sheamus now eats burger after burger after burger. And Monday Night Raw is the shite inside of that burger because it's shite now. It's not good. It hasn't been good consistently pretty much in over a decade. Way over a decade. It's getting a long time since wrestling was good consistently. It used to be over a decade. But see now it's almost approaching a decade and a half reaching into it.
Yep, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, those eras are a long time ago.
Yep, they are. I mean, the Ruthless Aggression Era ended 16 years ago. 16 years ago. If you take 2008 to 92, 16 years. When you actually factor these things in, it's mental.
Yeah, I'm under no illusion that like 2012, 2013, you had really good moments in those years. You had like some really good segments every week. But they were pretty much thanks to John Cena, CM Punk, part-time guys like The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Triple H. You did have The Rock, who was coming back around that period. So, yeah, those guys were obviously putting on some good stuff, but there was also most of the show was shit, though. Gotta be honest, see 2012, 2013, you take away the main eventers and the legends, the overall product wasn't great.
Yeah, I would actually say that like the mid-card stuff around then was probably worse than it is now. I think there was a lot of, like, Brodus Clay coming out and dancing his
Somebody call my mama,
like Vince likes that. I don't like that. There was a lot of other shite that was going on.
Ryback being pushed. Yep. Guy couldn't even cut a fucking promo. John Cena's having to talk for him.
Aye, I mean that's a guy that's just a mongoloid.
And then the SmackDown was just going through a period where
where the Raw rerun.
Yeah, basically the only thing you got good on SmackDown was when they would show something that happened on Raw, and then it turned into like Raw was the Raw Super Show. Don't know if you remember that, but you were basically getting Raw had both rosters, but SmackDown only had SmackDown. It was a bit of a shit show.
It was a bit of a shit show.
Anyway, the point is, wrestling hasn't been consistently good, in my opinion, in a long, long time.
No, it hasn't been good in a long, long time. And I don't think Damian Priest is the world champion feuding with Jey Uso is going to take it back to the promised land, but it did kick off this show. And you've got Damian Priest coming out, Jey Uso coming out, yeet, you're not yeet. I mean, Damian Priest here doesn't actually speak a word of a lie, in my opinion. He says, you're just a guy that the machine's going to feed me to like boost up my title run, and you know what? It's pretty much a shit promo.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's breaking kayfabe again, isn't it? Really, I mean, Damian Priest is just saying what we've actually been saying.
Yeah,
they're going to give him a nice wee easy win here.
It's the same with AJ Styles.
You know, so like what the hell? Like when would that have been said back in the day?
Yeah,
when would Triple H say to RVD? You're just a guy that the machine's feeding me to boost my title ring.
I don't like this breaking kayfabe business, man. Why can't there be a story? I mean, what is the story here? Jey Uso won a Fatal 4-Way match. I mean, the biggest story about it is the fact that CM Punk cost McIntyre. That's it. That's the biggest story. It's actually something not even to do with these two. And then JD Madonna tries to attack Jey Uso, but it backfires. And then you've got this awkward standoff where Jey Uso's looking at JD and Damian Priest is on the floor looking at both of them. Didn't like this. I mean, come on. I'm all for giving guys, right? Like, new guys, the opportunity to win the world title and actually have something fresh. Because Seth Rollins was fucking horrendous, by the way, and I actually think this is better than Seth Rollins. But I'm not going to pretend that Damian Priest, Jey Uso's main event level, because it's not.
No, especially when you have Damian, I don't know, seeing you got Damian Priest and he's in segments with JD Madonna.
Aye, it doesn't help.
I mean, why not just try and keep the segments limited? Why not have Damian Priest as far away from JD Madonna as possible? Just have Priest and Balor or something?
No, but people can talk about Rhodes, right? And I'm not saying Rhodes ain't a bigger star than Damian Priest, because he is. But Rhodes beat the big Roman Reigns streak. He was feuding with Reigns and The Rock, the entire bloodline. I mean, Damian Priest is pretty much doing this with his hands tied behind his back. What can he do to elevate himself feuding against Jey Uso? It's not like he's going up against a main eventer. He's going up against a mid-carder, main event Jey Uso and Jimmy. Fuck, no, they're not, man. I will never look at the Usos as anything other than mid-carders.
No. I mean, Jey Uso couldn't even beat Gunther to be Intercontinental Champion.
Yep.
but we're supposed to believe the guy's world champion material.
It's like,
I don't get it.
I like the Dudleys, right? But Bubba Ray needed the Bully Ray character for me to go into main event level. He couldn't do it as Bubba Ray.
Yeah,
I think the Hardys and Edge and Christian, they're a bit different almost. But it's not like... The Hardys did mature. When they were going for world titles, not that Matt ever really went for a WWE world title, they weren't the Hardys of the late 90s, early 2000s. So, anyway, let's just move on to our first match. But also, we've got 2024 King and Queen of the Ring tournaments announced. And the finals will take place in Saudi Arabia, where the women will dress up in bin bags. But
see, I actually thought they would never do that. I'm surprised they actually have to. But then again, you know, it depends on how you look at it. The Saudis probably like that gimmick. They could be the ones that called for that. Oh, we want to have the King of the Ring tournament because we like kings. But at the same time, I'm surprised they're actually going to call somebody a king in Saudi Arabia.
True.
That isn't their actual king.
Yeah, but the Saudis think it's all real, don't they?
That's what I mean. I'm even more
They
surprised.
don't think it's the big fake word.
But that's what I mean. It's even worse, isn't it?
Aye.
Or do they think it is a legitimate king, so therefore they don't view it as disrespectful?
I know, maybe they just view it as like a... I don't even know what way they view it, man.
Hey, how do you think the
We don't really agree with most things the way the Saudis view it. So
How do you think the Saudis have handled the whole McMahon shit? Do you think they want McMahon?
probably haven't took it very well, but I mean...
But we haven't been to a Saudi... we haven't had a Saudi show since those allegations came out.
Well, what I would say is, I mean, I would have to say that the Saudis would be in McMahon's corner.
What if the Saudis want to deal with McMahon? What if they say, look, Big Nose Triple H, I don't care about your
You're not...
indie fucking wrestling here. We
want Goldberg.
Well, that could be true.
We want The Undertaker, right? Awesome Truth. Defeat DIY. DIY, like, refuse a handshake at the end.
DI, Degeneration X.
Yep. Do you care about them? I don't. I mean, DIY heel turns do nothing for me. I mean, if you're going to pretend to be DX, just let's bring back DX, in my personal opinion. But then have Damian Priest kind of burying JD Madonna backstage. Right, then we have the New Day and Gunther. Gunther's boring the tits off. So I took some shots from Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. The nipples were not that good that night. Oh, and then Xavier Woods comes out, sound the alarm. Then you've got Kofi King doing some pish alarm, man. Don't even know what he was doing. And I just do not care for the New Day against Imperium. This feud has literally been going on since the Royal Rumble, by the way. 3 months of shite. 3 months of absolute mince. And then what happens? The New Day win. Imperium, they break up. Giovanni gets battered by, what's the guy? Ludwig Kaiser. And the commentators are trying to sell this like it's the biggest betrayal. See Imperium, right? See Gunther, has he been pushed pretty strong? Is he a big deal in WWE? Hell yeah. You probably go, I mean, you don't have a title reign that long with the IC belt and not be considered some relatively sort of big shot, right? But let's not pretend that Imperium's fucking big shots. They're shite. They're absolute shit. See in the Attitude Era, see if Austin aligned himself with the oddities. Does that elevates the oddities a wee bit? But does it mean the rest of them are fucking on Austin's level? No, it doesn't. So why are we pretending here that this is like one of the greatest betrayals in wrestling history? Do not care for Imperium. They're a bunch of jobbers. I'm not going to lose any time for it. Now, there was a QR code that flashed on the screen, and apparently it's teasing Uncle Howdy. I, for one, don't give a shit about Bo Dallas. Do you?
No, I mean, for me, without Bray Wyatt, the Uncle Howdy character means nothing.
Yep.
Because Bray Wyatt seems to be the brains behind that operation. He seems to be the guy that was coming up with all these characters and gimmicks, and he pretty much invented the Howdy shit for Bo Dallas. I mean, I get it. Maybe Bo Dallas wants to try and pay homage to his brother, but I think without Bray Wyatt, it's dead.
I almost feel like, though, that
That's a bad choice of word.
Yeah, it probably was, but I almost feel like with Triple H, he's actually probably less willing to go with a character like that. Even though these QR codes are showing something like that. Do you not agree?
Also, I don't think people can be arsed with that. I think people want to sit down and, like, see if you're truly invested in a program, you won't be pulling out your phone to scan a QR code.
No.
Like, see when I'm watching Breaking Bad, and it's a really fucking good scene, see, especially when you're watching it for the first time, you don't want to be pulling out your phone and have to scan something while the actual series is taking place. You could miss something. You're paying attention. To me, it shows you how shite wrestling is, that they want you to actually whip out your phone and get busy scanning QR. Is it just because there's like no attention spans these days?
I mean, it probably could be that. Andrade cuts...
Monday Night Raw used to have you on the edge of your seat.
Not anymore.
Now the only reason you're on the edge of your seat is because you're going to get up and fucking, I don't know, go into the kitchen and make a cup of coffee or something like that because the show's that bad.
Will someone go into the kitchen, make a phone call, and phone a taxi for Andrade? Because this didn't do anything for me, didn't do anything for you. Why bring this guy back? I'm not going to talk about his promo, I don't care. Right, anyway. Drew McIntyre against Sheamus. Best segment of the night. Again, it's like, they're almost like, well, they are kind of breaking kayfabe. That's pretty much what it was. Drew McIntyre buries Sheamus. Sheamus is like, well, I can lose the weight, but you can't lose stupid. I mean, a pretty good line in there. He talks about how your brother John Galloway flew over from Scotland, your wife was there, and you fucking jobbed him out.
Say what you want, but I can believe these two as professional wrestlers. I think Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, I'm never going to consider them GOATs, but I do think they're two of the better wrestlers that we have today.
Yeah, I think they're two guys who could have worked in any era.
And
they did. They were in... I know Sheamus really wasn't in Ruthless Aggression, nor was McIntyre really, but they were in the latter stages, beginning...
Nah, they never made it.
Yeah, I know, but they were like the beginning of the... They were in that time period between Ruthless Aggression and shite.
Yeah,
I think the late 2000s and the early 2010s.
If Benoit didn't kill himself and his family, then both of these guys might actually made it into the Ruthless Aggression era because it could have lasted longer. But
yeah, but undoubtedly, McIntyre and Sheamus have gave us some great moments.
Yeah, no,
they will stand the test of time to a degree.
Even matches aside, like I think McIntyre and Sheamus are two guys that, I mean, they're never going to be considered A category or probably even B category legends for me. But I think they are two guys that, when it's all said and done, I could be comfortable calling them legends. There's not many people in this current roster that I view as legends.
Yeah, I mean, Drew McIntyre will have a feud with CM Punk later down the line. I just don't really see much of a future for Sheamus.
I think both of these... No, I don't think there's much left for Sheamus to do in WWE. His last run was basically chasing the Intercontinental Championship, a mid-card title that he could never win. I think that's wrong. I think Sheamus should be a world champion. I think Sheamus should be in the world title picture. I want to see. Now, maybe with Roman Reigns no longer being the world champ, that will open up more possibilities. We've got the draft coming up soon. I'm hoping now that with Roman Reigns not holding the belts hostage, that guys like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus can actually regularly be in the world title pictures. But I just think the way Triple H is going right now, I don't think you're getting that. I think people are getting like a one chance and then done. And I just don't think that... I don't think that Drew McIntyre... Well, maybe not much Drew, but definitely Sheamus. I just don't think he's in Triple H's plans for a world title picture.
No, I don't think he is.
You know, back in the days, like someone could get a title shot, they'd lose, but then like 3 months later they'd get another one.
Yeah.
That seems, see nowadays, it's like everything's so slow and boring and dragged out. See if you get a title shot and you lose, you're probably not going to get another one for at least a year.
Yeah.
Unless it's the women's division and you're Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair, then fuck, you get them.
Which we will get to later on, but I mean, this was a good segment. McIntyre with some good lines. Sheamus with some good lines. Let's move on to Sheamus against Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura loses to Sheamus.
Nakamura's done.
Yep.
Apparently he's only on 400k a year. And Okada's on 4.5
well, fucking
mil.
boo-hoo, he's only on that.
Well, no, but I mean, it's kind of crazy that people thought Okada was going to get millions in WWE. Nakamura's on 400k.
I know, Triple H, such a bad guy, not wanting to pay these guys super amounts of fucking money, but yeah. Chad Gable then comes out in a suit. He buries pretty much everyone in the... What do you call these guys? The
How
Academy?
many people did Dexter kill, by the way? Seriously?
That's a big list.
That's just one episode.
Did he kill our excitement for wrestling?
Albeit it was off screen. Like, back to Monday Night Raw. You haven't checked out Dexter, guys, get on it.
It was one episode.
All off screen, like, but... I wonder what his total death kill is.
What episode did he kill that many people in?
I don't know, like episode 6 of season 2 or something.
What was he doing?
I don't know. Or maybe it's just dead bodies that are found.
Aye.
So we don't know when they were killed, but this is like...
Oh, that's what it is then. Alright, anyway, Chad Gable.
But how are all
Clark
these people
Gable.
killed? Clark Gable.
Clark Gable.
You know what? Say what you want about Chad Gable. You can say he's a wee diddy man. You can say that he's nowhere near Kurt Angle, which he is not. But he's a lot more interesting than Sami Zayn. And I would have rather seen Chad Gable be Intercontinental Champion instead of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn just bores the tits off of me. Never. Sami Zayn, I think, was interesting when he had the whole conspiracy thing and when he initially joined the Bloodline. But see, since Sami left the Bloodline, the guy's done nothing.
No,
He's been really, really poor. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I liked this promo, though, for Chad Gable. I thought it was decent. Him turning heel, him bashing the Alpha Academy. It's hard to take the Alpha Academy seriously, though, because they've got a big fat man in Otis who hasn't been treated like a legit threat. You got a guy in Tasawa who's a glorified fucking jobber, can't seem to speak English, and got dismantled by a woman, even if she does look like a man. And then you've got Maxine Dupree, who's hot, but arguably the worst worker in the entire main roster.
yeah.
So, I mean, he's not got a lot to work with. But I actually don't mind Chad Gable.
Clark Gable.
And I remember the Alpha Academy and RK Bro giving us some of the, best moments week in, week out on Monday Night Raw.
Dark times, my friends, dark times. Anyway, continuing with dark times, we've got Ricochet and Andrade taking on Santos Escobar and JD Madonna. What are we doing here? Dominic Mysterio's injured, by the way. Looks like he was there, but who cares? Ricochet and Andrade get the job done. 63. Take me back to 63. But Jackie Redmond cuts an interview with a couple of people tonight. And no, another thing, right? See, like half the women that were in this battle royal, they uploaded a TikTok all dancing with each other before the fucking match. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Heels and faces, by the way. It's not just, oh, this is a faction. I mean, if it was a faction, I would accept it.
But here's my problem is, like, they will do this, right? They will upload a TikTok where they're all happy, all dancing, but then someone will try and continue the story from the actual show with a tweet.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't have it fucking both ways, right? Either you need to be in character in social media or not be in character, but you can't literally upload a picture or whatever to Instagram or a video, dancing with your colleagues and be heels and faces, but then like 10 minutes later upload a post and try to carry the story or try to carry the angle from the show onto social media and want us to be invested and want us to care and want us to treat it like it actually means something. If you've just 10 minutes previously uploaded a picture with that said person dancing and shit,
yeah,
it's done. It's fucking done.
Look how The Rock handled himself, though. He was doing all these like different shoot promos.
Aye.
Not shoot promos, but
I never seen
promos.
The Rock upload a picture of Smiles with Cody Rhodes. Didn't you see that? No, I don't know. How do you go about it? Could wrestlers have two different sets of social media?
They could, but it's one of those things. Once one person breaks it, they all break into it.
Does wrestling suck because of social media?
I'd say it's a factor.
Right, fair enough.
Right, up next, Women's Battle Royal. It's to be expected. It's poor, it's cheap, there's sloppiness everywhere. I think the worst spot for me is Piper Niven or Doudrop, whatever that fatty's called. And we've got Nia Jax on the outside. Nia Jax can barely pick up Doudrop, by the way. Like, what's that about? Is that no pathetic? That she can't pick her up? Well, I know she's big, but Nia Jax is big, so she's not be able to pick her up.
Yeah, and this was just really, really bad.
Because you've got Doudrop doing the Samoan drop, and the table just won't break. Chelsea Green gets eliminated and jumps back up in the apron, and it ended up going down to the final four that you predicted. Which of course,
it didn't actually. Chelsea Green got eliminated before.
Oh, well, who? Shayna Baszler.
But it was close.
Right, Becky Lynch wins, folks, and why is Becky Lynch winning? Because I don't understand, it's getting to a degree where it's even worse than Charlotte. With Becky Lynch. Is there a need for Becky Lynch to win this match? Why not just give it to Mid Morgan? I don't even like Mid Morgan, but fucking hell, man. If I was somebody else. Yeah,
I don't know. It's Becky Lynch wins another belt. Does nothing for Becky. I think it makes Becky look a bit weak. Definitely if she's a heel, but she's a face that couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania against the champion. And it's like now she manages to sneak in through the back door while the champion is injured and becomes, the women's... for me, it's not a good look. Because it just looks like Becky Lynch calls herself the man, but Ric Flair says to beat the man, or to be the man, sorry, you need to beat the man.
Yep.
And guess what?
She didn't.
Becky Lynch didn't beat the man.
She didn't beat the man with the gigantic shoulders.
She beat Mid Morgan. So,
yeah.
take from that what you will.
Take from that what you will, guys, but take from this what you will. It's time to review the show. I am going to give this Raw a... I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. You know why, right? Because it's just mid. Where's the main eventers, man? It's like we said, I like Drew and Sheamus, I do, but they shouldn't be the fucking main event scene on Raw. They shouldn't be.
You're going at 1. I'm going to give it a... I'll give it 3 out of 10.
Don't know why you're doing that, but that's a 2 out of 10.
Well, I'm doing that because I enjoyed the Drew McIntyre Sheamus segment. I enjoyed the Chad Gable segment.
Right.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I like a battle royal, so there you go.
I like a battle royal, but not when it's people who can't work.
I mean, that is true. The battle royal wasn't that great, but you know what? This Raw just lacks... It's not just Raw, man. WWE lacks star fucking power.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help when they purposely leave stars off the show for no fucking reason.
No. That actually does get me, though. I don't understand that. Why would they do that?
You know, I don't... See WWE, right? They are not in a position where they can allow half their roster, right, to go to Europe and tour. They're just fucking not.
No, they're not. No, they really aren't.
Because I believe that Cody Rhodes is and Finn Balor. Are those guys not in Europe right now, or were they in Europe, or?
Yeah, I believe it's the Raw roster that is in Europe. So no, but so half.
I'm pretty sure Sami Zayn's in Europe, but he was on. I don't know if there's a pre-tape tonight.
I think it will.
I wonder if that was a pre...
It might have
because
been.
Sami Zayn literally did wrestle in Belfast the other night.
It must be pre-taped then.
And we didn't see Finn Balor.
Bronson Reed attacked him. So Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn must be...
We didn't see Finn Balor tonight, but he wrestled Sami Zayn in Belfast 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a pre-tape with Sami Zayn tonight. I think Cody Rhodes was in Belfast.
Well, let's just sum it up, right?
But my point is like, holy fuck, it's like, maybe back in the day, right, you had a good roster and you could afford to do this shit. You do not now, right? You cannot split this roster. Especially when you got a brand split. You just can't take half this Raw roster and split it.
I mean, we went to a house show in Belfast, 17 years ago?
And look at the names.
The main event was Edge and MVP
against Taker and Batista. Fucking would kill to get that right now.
I mean, and you're probably looking at mid-card matches of like Matt Hardy and all.
You had
Benoit.
You had he was dead.
Was he?
It had triple threat.
Had Benoit.
Triple threat match for the ECW Championship. Punk, Morris, and Miz. And I feel like I've seen that a million times, but we've seen it that night as well.
It's levels to this game.
It is levels to this game. Who else was on the show? Can't really remember, but anyway, I'm pretty sure Maurice and Michelle McCool were there. But yeah, that's it. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10 because a couple of segments I enjoyed, but just overall, not a great show. And hopefully, once they do this brand split, I want to see the top guys on Raw every week. There's no explanation, right? Cody Rhodes is the fucking champ. Why is he not on SmackDown last week or Raw this week? I don't want to hear Michael Cole. Oh, well, WWE's overseas. Fuck WWE overseas. That's irrelevant. That's a house show.
Yeah.
House shows are like, they're not, what do you call that? Not canon. They're not canon, alright? They should see if they're going to do house shows. That's fucking fair enough, but don't do house shows that are going to put Raw in danger, or just tape Raw or do something.
But I mean, yeah.
Or have an injury. I don't know, have someone take out Cody Rhodes.
But so what if they can't be there, right? Fucking record something.
Exactly.
It's actually...
Even for a satellite, man, I'd take it.
It's baffling.
Anyway, guys, that's it.
You're right, though. It shouldn't affect it. It does affect it. And
no, but see when wrestling was great. See the Ruthless Aggression era. See the Attitude era. See if somebody just wasn't on a show and they were a top main eventer. That would be a big deal. There'd be a reason for it.
Yeah.
We'd be getting told why they weren't on the show. But 9 times out of 10, that never happened.
When Austin took his ball and went home, they fucking addressed it that night.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10...
See, if it was now, you just think, well, you must just
but
be
there was always a reason for somebody not being on the show.
Yep.
And you know what? See if somebody needed some time off, they'd write them out with an injury.
No.
See if somebody needed a few weeks off. It's not like fucking... Look at Gunther. Guy loses the belt and he just doesn't show up for 2 weeks. Like, when did that ever happen?
No.
Roman Reigns doesn't show up now. I get it. That's his gimmick's not showing up, but that just never happened back in the day. And I'm not going to go into another rant, but I think it hurts the new champion when you don't have the old champion showing up.
No, it does. It absolutely does. But here, I'm sick of talking about Raw, man. Spring breaking tonight, and I won't be watching it. I won't be there. 2 out of 10.